Evening. Today is January 20th, 2022. This is the Village of Buchanan Planning Board. I call the meeting to order. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
That's okay.
Okay, the next on the agenda is approval of the minutes of November 18th, 2021. We all given a copy of it. Is there any addition or changes that need to be done? All right, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Tracy, second. Second by Jennifer. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is new business calendar number 1-22 PB special permit application for accessory apartment property located at 172nd Street. So, Peter, do you want to start off or do you want Mr. McCarthy to start off? Basically, what I want is a brief history of the property and then where we stand now.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, I researched the town of Cortland property card and it wasn't listing everything correctly. And we went further back in an older property card, and the house was built in 1945. In 1951, it was given a pre-existing non-conforming two-family status by the planning board of Buchanan, which other people didn't appreciate that. Long and short, it kept that status until 1985, when the owner at that time moved from the residence and did not live in the residence for almost 2 years, at which point the village board rescinded his status of the house and returned it back to a one-family. The owner at that time went to the board again, and they denied him a two-family status. He went to New York State Court and they denied him. Then he went to New York State Supreme Court and they denied him in '89. So as of 1989, it's been a one-family dwelling on record. Each of the owners has tried to rent out the top area of the house, and the village had stepped in and stopped a border situation from happening. Miss Infante purchased the house 20 years ago. She's had the upstairs apartment was told by previous inspectors that I found documentation for, that all she had to do was remove the stove from the existing second floor area that was that way when she purchased it, which she did. But technically, in New York State's eyes, the entire kitchen should have been removed as a whole. That's when I suggested that she legalize the top floor to make it an accessory apartment, and she does meet the parameters of being able to have one. I did, with Mr. McCarthy and the owner, I was capable of inspecting the entire residence. The top floor is, that's what the drawing states, is as exactly as it was stated. The first floor, the same. There were a few permits for renovation work over the years that were CO'd out. The top floor was closed out. It was opened in 1954 as a permit to finish the attic area at the time. 2 dormers were added to the building, and that permit remained open until 1987, when it was closed out with its existing status as it's drawn on the paper, on the plan. And that's how it's been deemed as a one-family with a CO, with that top floor being as it is. The current owner did not fabricate any of that. That was existing. At this point, the basement is divided in the middle. There's a pass-through and a staircase down from the kitchen area and a rear door. Upon my inspection, I found there were 2 interior doors segregating the left side of the basement, which did not have locks on them, which would need to be removed to keep the basement, the doors need to be removed to keep it as an open floor plan. And there was a bathroom that I found in the one corner by the rear door. That was an illegal bathroom, not done by its time frame by that I could judge. It's over 20 years old. I'm a contractor that I know the materials and the date of the things that are in there. So upon informing the owner and Mr. McCarthy about that, they immediately began to legalize the process and got an electrician and a plumber. And they've already come before me, and we're getting the permit process started to legalize the bathroom that was done prior to her ownership. And the other few things that needed to be addressed. But other than that, that's what the inspection found. The square footages and things, I was just trying to get the professional drawing before the board this evening so everyone could see the actual layout. The original submission was a little hard to decipher. I didn't want to confuse everyone. But the most important thing, I wanted to get a drawing in front of you so you could see the actual layout. And that's where we are at this point. Do you have any questions?
Does anyone on the board have any questions for Pete?
Mr. Chairman, I would, if I could just, and members of the board, just add a couple of things. I don't disagree with anything that Mr. Cook has had to say. I appreciate all the effort that he put into researching the history of the property. And I think he's accurately described the current status. I wanted to point out to the board, our intention and my client's intention was to actually be on the December agenda, and to no fault of her own, we were not able to get everything together. There was a few things between the holidays, some COVID stuff going on, and so we chose to push off to January. So our intention was to get in here sooner, but we now have everything submitted to the board. We were able to get the architect to put together the floor plan right away. We also have had as Mr. Cook mentioned, the plumber and the electrician in to submit documentation to legalize the bathroom downstairs. So my client is, in compliance. She's doing what's needed, and as Mr. Cook indicated, essentially all the elements necessary to qualify for an accessory apartment are there. And that's what the application is before the board. So.
Does any of the board members have any other questions as far as, go ahead, Jennifer.
I just want to confirm. So Ms. Infante is the resident. She lives on premises, and the apartment or the accessory apartment, it will be occupied by someone in her family?
That's correct. Her cousin. Yep.
Her cousin.
A single person. Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, Mr. McCarthy, before I ask for a motion to have a public hearing, will you be able to get a site plan of the property showing the house, the garage, and the way the driveway is laid out?
Yes, we will be able to get that to you.
So
Yeah.
basically, if we go to a public hearing, you'll be able to have the layout, which Peter gave us tonight, and you'll be able to brief on it. And then
Yes.
also the layout of the property.
Yes, we will get that to the board, well in advance of the next meeting.
Okay, can I have a motion from a board member to hold a public hearing on the property for February 17th?
Make a motion for February 17th public hearing.
So we got a motion by Eileen, second by Jennifer. So you will have to send out mailings to the neighbors, so that way they're notified of the public hearing, so that way they can chime in and have their opinion as far as the property.
Very good. We've
Yeah.
already,
Yes.
I was being in contact with the village clerk's office, and I think we have the list of people that need to be notified. We've already begun preparing the mailing labels. So we'll get that out right away.
And
Okay.
I'll have the legal notice there by noon tomorrow, so they can give it to you.
Mr. Chairman, there's a hand raised. I don't know if you want to take any public comment at this point. Just want to identify this. There is one hand raised.
Okay, they can chime in if you want.
Now, speaking. Can I be?
Mr. Timko, you're up. You are muted. You can unmute yourself at this point, Mr. Timko.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Tim.
Okay, yeah, I'm concerned because she said multiple apartments over the years, over the past 20 years, not just one, but multiple at a time. Okay, you've had, without the village's approval, including downstairs, which recently, right before the inspection, the tenant that used to access the back of the property that's lived there for over 5 years just left with a mattress on the strap to the roof of his car.
Okay, Mr. Timko,
There's been more apartments in that house than just the
Mr.
upstairs.
Timko, we're gonna hold a public hearing February 17th. And if you have concerns to bring up as far as engineering concerns or village violations, you can bring them up. As far as any public complaint, that doesn't come to the planning board.
Well, this was what I was told by the building inspectors, that it has to go to the planning board. Now,
Well,
village
during the
code also says
during
that
the public hearing, you have the right to speak to that, but right now, we're not in the public hearing. That is
Okay.
set, that you'll receive a letter at your house about the public hearing, which is set for February 17th, and then you'll have your concerns heard by the planning board.
Okay, my main concern here is according to chapter 211-22B section, only one accessory apartment per house is to be allowed, correct?
And that's all that is being requested.
Yes, but there's been more than one for all these years at a time.
We dispute that, so.
I have pictures of it. You can dispute with everything you want. I have pictures. I will show you a picture right now. I'll put it on camera. If you can see me on camera of the downstairs tenant leaving with his mattress. You want to see it? It's on my.
No, thank you, Mr. Timko. Right now, we're just bringing this up for a public hearing set for February 17th.
Okay.
Okay, sir?
Yes, and I also have 3 different separate people that live there getting mail out of one mailbox also.
I understand your concern that you're stating, but right now, we're not doing that. This is not the public hearing.
Okay.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to know, Peter, did you have any other questions? You look like you might have.
No, actually, like I said, I've inspected the premises, and everything, meets the requirement, what I see. Again, New York State requires a place to clean, cook, and sleep as an apartment, and there is no kitchen. There hasn't been, nor was anything removed. There was a plumbing issue there. In the past few weeks, they lost a water line, which damaged all the flooring in the basement, which has to be repaired. But there has been work being done on the house in the past few weeks. It was a concern of people, from other people, and I've got to see what was happening there. And there was nothing being removed or altered in that basement. There is a small bar area with 3 stools and a left and right side and a mechanical room with a laundry. That's what the basement is on the floor plan. It is as drawn. And it was like that prior to her ownership. I don't know what, yeah, that's all I could say about that.
All right, did we get the floor plan?
Yes, I emailed it. I emailed it this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
We did not have an accurate floor plan originally with the submission. And I discussed that with Ms. Infante and Mr. McCarthy, and they immediately acquired an architect to draw the plans, which was less than a week's time. That's why at least we were fortunate to get it in our hand this evening. I just wanted to make sure everybody could clearly understand the physical layout of the house.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So
I just have
basically,
one more thing. If there was nothing downstairs, why was the mattress taken out of the back of the house, the bottom of the driveway? That's where it was put on the roof of the car, from the back of the house.
I have no explanation for that. I have no explanation. There's no furniture down there. There's a small love seat. There's no TV, there's no cable in any of the areas. I don't know.
Most people nowadays stream things. They don't have cable. I don't even have cable. I stream everything myself also. But
Okay,
if there was nothing down in the back, why was a mattress taken from the back of the house, back of the property? And he's the one that used to get the mail out of the mailbox all the time. And he's been there for
Mr.
over.
Timko, this is not the forum to go back and forth with allegations of a mattress coming out of the back of the house. Right now, we're doing the planning board. There's a scheduled public hearing on the 17th to address anything with the village codes and any engineering concern. So you'll get notice, and that's the way we're gonna follow the process.
Just one more thing. I've sent pictures of the evidence I've had to the building inspectors and Teresa. It's not just a mattress, of all the things over the years.
Yes, I have seen that stuff. So I'm aware of what you sent to the village, correct. But the public hearing, like I said, final last time is February 17th to address any engineering issue or village codes.
Okay, village code is not to have 2 apartments, only 1 accessory.
Does any of the board members have any additional questions? Okay. So we have nothing else on the agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Eileen, second.
Second.
Thank you, Tracy. All right, that concludes the planning board meeting, and the next public hearing, like I said, is February 17th. And the applicant will send out the mailing to notify the public. Thank you.
We will. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Okay, good night, everybody.
good night.